I hope you've been doing well. Today, I'll finally be giving you a flip through of this journal which I have finally completed. I started it around March last year and I've been working in it for around 10 to 11 months and it's finally completed. And I can finally show you what's inside. So, starting off with the cover. As you can see, it's a gatefold style journal, so there's two sides. When you first open a journal, this is what you'll see. This is the first spread I did. I usually like to do an interactive element on the first page of all my journals, stating the number of the journal and just how I feel about it, the date it started and all. So there's a pocket here and there's some journaling behind this card, and there's another pocket here. And on this page, I just wrote the date I started it and the date it ended. And like I said, I started this journal in around March. We'll start with the side of the journal. The first page, when you turn over, this is just some artwork which I documented from 2019 versus 2022. I moved on to digital art in 2021. On the page after that, there's just some sticky notes annotating something about a book I've read before and more about the book after I completed reading it. And then here there's just a picture of me in this frame type of page, and I did some journaling. Moving on to the next page, I think this is a pocket and I think there's pictures tucked inside, and then here there's a pocket and then there's an envelope in the pocket, and inside there I just did some writing. As you can see, I really like interactive elements, especially in this specific journal where I got out of my comfort zone and the pages were a lot more narrower and I had to find a way to fit all my journaling into the page. I made a lot of pockets in this journal. Anyways, about this page, I just stuck the chocolate wrapper directly onto the page and painted over here in some pink metallic paint, and I just wrote directly on top of the paint. Here is another pocket and there's a tag in here which opens up to some more journaling, and this page was also painted in a few colors and more of that pink metallic paint, and I just wrote directly over it. Moving on to the next page, this is the rest of the page which was painted from here, and there's a pocket here. It's more of a frame and there's actually a picture behind this, and this also opens up as a flap. I don't really want to show what's on the other side, so I'm not going to open it all the way, but this flaps open. Moving on to the next page, this page is just like a fun collage full of just random candy wrappers which I accumulated over the year, and I just had all of them laying by me and I just smashed them all onto this one single page just for fun. I turned this packet into a pocket and there's just a card inside. The next page is also just random packaging dump. So I had these fun flavored coffees which I literally just bought because I wanted to do a spread like this. Yeah, I specifically bought it so that I could staple the different flavors across the page like everybody else does. And honestly, the coffee was okay, but at least I got the spread I wanted in my journal. On the top here, I ranked the flavors out of 10 on these little orange stickers. And over here, I just stapled the box and put a Project Life card with the journaling inside it. On the next page, there is another pocket and there's a few pictures inside there, and I just journal directly onto the page. As you can see in this journal, I did a lot of journaling directly onto the page. So I just did some decoration and labeling, and that's it for the spread. Moving on to the next spread. This one has more pockets again, and there's a large pocket here which I made out of sandpaper, by the way. It's very textured. And there's another pocket over here, and it's got this folded up piece of paper inside it. The spread is about a book I've read, so I had to make it a little extra special, and it is one of my favorite books, by the way. On to the next page. Over this page, I have a video on it, and I just documented a bunch of random things. Again, as usual, there's pockets and everything. This clear bag, which my phone actually came in. I have a journaling spot. Yes, this page is just stamped down and I wrote over it. And over here there's another tuck spot. And yeah, this also opens up. It's all interactive, fun little page, and the color scheme of it is really pretty. I really like this page a lot. And there's this thing which I just attached to the bottom of the page. This page had holes all over it, so I just attached this. Over to the next page. This is another simple page. I just cut out a piece of the box of the hair dye I used and stapled it onto the page here, added a receipt of the day I bought it, and there's this page which is just full of writing, and it's attached with a paper clip so that the flowers beneath aren't hidden. And on the other page I basically stuck to the same concept, used another paper and did my journaling on it, and just attached it onto this page using the same paper clip. Here I had a serviette, so I just attached it using my glue stick and added washi tape, and there were a few more random receipts and I just stuffed them here. Moving on to more random journaling, I just had a bunch of things laying around and I needed to get it in the book, so I just took them all and put it on the same spread. So over here I have this pamphlet which I turned into a pocket, and inside there is some papers and then this is this piece of lacy scrap. I don't know what this is, but it's like really textured and it filled up the space really nicely. Even though it's a bit bulky, I was fine with using it for once. And over here there's another tag, and there's this little window which the tag peeks through. I just thought it was really fun and interactive. To the next page over here, I just stuck down this little green paper and put a little word quote over there, and then there's just journaling for the next 1.5 pages. Moving on to the next page, there's actually a picture of my nephew, which I, by the way, covered up with these random bits of paper. So yeah, he'll be covered up like that. There's this flip which flips out, and there's writing on the inside. I attached it using washi tape on the two sides, and then there's another one with a picture of him that also flaps out to reveal another picture of him, and there's more writing here. There's writing beneath the picture going sideways, and I like to use a lot of colorful things when I'm journaling about him because he's a child, so it's nice to use the fun things for the fun spreads. Moving on to the next spread, there's another pocket here. The inside flips open to reveal journaling, and on the side there's this postcard which I added using washi tape in the middle of the two pages. Initially it was a beautiful red leaf and now it's gone dried up, but that doesn't matter. That turns over to more journaling onto the page. These receipts are interactive. I just stuck them down there, and then there's a clothing tag which tucks into more clothing tags. On to the next page, I went to visit my friend once and she gave me a bunch of random things, which was like so sweet of her because she knows I journal. So she just had scraps of things which she didn't mind giving me, and of course I was really excited about it. So I did a whole spread about that. So she gave me like this little printable and these paint chips, and she even gave me some pattern papers. So I used one of them to journal about how it felt to finally meet her and go to her house and everything. Moving on to the next page, there's this little spread I did about random things again. There's this project life card which was attached using washi tape, and it flips open to journaling beneath it. My sister gave me something and there was this paper doily attached to it, so I stuck that on top there. There's some washi tape, packaging, and just like random things over on the page. Moving on, there's this flap which has a picture beneath it, so I'm not gonna open it fully, but there's just a picture and writing beneath it. And over here again there's just this attached piece of paper which I used washi tape to attach, by the way, and it's just full of writing, and I added these random tickets just for a little bit of more decoration. And to the next page, this is just a swatch of some washi tapes and stuff which I bought earlier on during the year. There's actually a video on this, so I just have the packaging of the washi tape and some samples of the stickers I got and everything, and I just did some journaling about it. I'm going to be skipping a few pages over here. I kind of don't want to share them, so we'll skip like 5 pages and come onto this page. This is part of the previous spread which I skipped, and there's just pictures tucked into this little pocket over here, and this is another pocket, and there's just random journaling inside, I think, and this is just tucked between 2 pages which have been stuck together. Anyways, moving on, this page has these 3 papers which I designed for fun, and then I have a few pictures of the digital art which I did in the past few years, just to document them physically instead of having them just in my phone. So there's 2 pictures over here, and then moving on, the rest of them are also over here on display. Onto the next page, there's just this black envelope which has pictures in it, I think, and there's just this little label annotating what's inside it. And this is another scrappy page of random things like coffee wrappers, and this is something which came from one of the things I bought for my journal. This is the box of my contact lenses, and this is just this random thing which I found, which I used to make when I was small, and I don't know where it came from. And then over here there's another 2 pages which have been stuck together to create a big pocket, and inside I just have this giant page of only writing, and this is a letter to myself. And then again we turn over to another random scrappy page with random chunk all shoved onto the page. So there's this paper clip which is keeping the page shut, and again on this page is just random things like receipts stapled directly onto the page, and just like stickers and packaging. And on here also there's just some journaling beneath this scrap. There's also tea bag tags in a few places, and it's just really random. Onto the next page. Okay, this page is blank. I didn't even know that. I'll just leave it blank, or I'll do something on it in the future. The spread is also about my nephew. As you can see, I covered his face up again. There's even some journaling beneath, and there's tags and labels. Again, I made it a really colorful spread. There's a sticker with 5 because he's 5 years old, and there's a picture of him in school. So yeah, there's that spread which is super fun and super colorful. And then the next page is also kind of about him, and there's a pocket over here, and there's a ton of pictures in there. There's also a calendar. This is also just a simple spread with 1 picture and a paper doily printable, and I think I wrote a little poem on top of this for him. And then moving on to the next page, this one is also about my nephew. Like I said, majority of this journal is about my nephew because he's the only person in our life who's rapidly changing, and I want to document every single thing about before it's too late. So there's a few pictures here which I covered up. There's a label to annotate what is going on. There's another picture, and again I journaled directly onto the page. This journal, it has a lot of journaling directly onto the page, which usually isn't my style. I prefer to have it in an interactive way, but these pages were kind of plain, which is why there's a lot of journaling written directly onto the page. Onto the next page, this is a continuation of the previous spread. There's more pictures and more journaling on the page. Then there's this envelope which I took and turned it inside out. As you can see, this is the inside of those envelopes with a little window. So I put a picture of him on the inside so it peeks through the window over here, and there is something inside here. Yeah, there's a letter inside. There's a little poem I wrote over there, and yeah, that's it for this side of this journal. Oh, there's also this on this last page. I just had a few scraps of journaling which my nephew did, so I just added that to the journal, and there was a little doodle which he did, and I also just stuck that directly onto the page and just left it there. We're finally halfway through the journal. So after the first spread, we open up, and this is 2 separate spreads. It's just random things, just as the other side was. There's just pictures and some journaling, and then there's this packaging of this coffee. It was orange and it matched the page and it filled it up, so I just stapled it directly onto the page. There's nothing too special about it. Moving on a few pages later, I skipped a few pages there in the middle because there were pictures of my nephew and I didn't want to cover them all up. It was literally just a collage of him. Onto this spread here, there's just more pictures of him and there's another picture which is covered up. This is a tuck spot and there's actually some stuff tucked beneath this paper. And then this flips open just to reveal a whole lot of journaling which I did directly onto the page. The next page, there's just journaling directly onto the page. This is more like a diary entry than a journal spread. I think I just gave a little life update. Yeah, that's all there is on this page. And this page I just left it blank because I didn't know what to do on this. Moving on to the next page. This spread is one long spread which I already have a video on, and this is about an art expo I went to last year March. So this is just some stuff which I got from this one painting I bought, so I wrote about that. This is the card, the thank you card and the lady's sticker, and I just journaled about it and added some decoration on the page. This is a certificate of authenticity, and I was just added onto one side of the page as an extra page. I said page in the sentence so many times. Okay, and then the next page is also part of the previous spread. It's just business cards tucked into another business card, and then there's this drawing which I didn't do. This drawing has nothing to do with me, by the way. And I just added it onto the page as this fun fold out, and I added some journaling on the other side of it, and there's more journaling directly onto the page. Over here I just added the other business cards directly onto the page just to fill the space up. There's also a pocket here, and there's a project life card tucked inside along with a few pictures. The next page, this is just one of the pages I did towards the end of the journal, and I never know how to cover it up, so I just drew on one side and did a cute little collage on the other side. And then onto the next page, this is also about one of the books I've read, and the next few spreads are about a few books I've read. Okay, so these are kind of like book reviews, and I really had fun doing this spread. So there's a tuck spot in here, and there's journaling directly onto the page. There's random decorations on the page which kind of have something to do with the book, if that makes sense. The next page is also a spread on a different book, but it's by the same author. The vibes are the same, so I did all three of these spreads together. I even have a video on them, by the way. And again, here there's a tuck spot in this printed doily. There's a William Morris postcard which I attached in the middle just as an extra fold out, and there's journaling directly onto the page, and there's like stickers and a whole lot of decoration which suits the theme. This one is the same. There is a tuck spot, but it's a bottom loading tuck spot, and in here this page just opens up into a bunch of journaling, just journaling directly onto the page, and decoration and stamping and all that type of stuff. Next page is just journaling again directly onto this colorful paper. This little tuck spot, it's also a really colorful page. The next few pages are just a few washi tape swatches from when I restocked my washi tapes last year in the beginning of the year. So yeah, there's just a bunch of swatches and some journaling about all that. And then the next pages are blank again. I missed a few pages in the journal. I never even know these pages were blank, and I was in this journal for quite a while, so I didn't mind leaving it a few pages blank. I can just come back and fill them up, or just leave them and finally move on to a new journal. And I have two galaxy spreads here which coincide with each other. They're about separate things, but I did them on the same day, so I just painted the page blue and added some galaxy paper in the corner and just decorated it a little bit, and I just wrote directly onto the page in black and white pen. The other page is very similar. Again, I just painted it and added a few galaxy papers and added these pearl stickers and just did a quick catch-up journaling. Next page, there is this document. I don't think I should be showing that. and it flaps open to reveal just tons and tons of journaling. All of this is the same story, and I was just writing on and on and on about something, and I do have a video on this too. I just added a few stickers to decorate it and make it a bit more interesting, so it's not just a whole lot of writing directly onto the page, even though it kind of is that. There's just this added pattern border which I stuck down so it matches with the geometric patterns on this side of the page, and that's it for that side. Moving on, it folds over onto the next page, and this is also part of the previous spread's writing. I did write a lot, okay? And then there's a short page which has something tucked inside. There's this little diary page which I wrote on, and there's another little story inside of that. And I just stuck that back inside this project life card which I stapled onto the top and the bottom, and added a quote sticker on top of that. And then the next spread is another one about my nephew. I have tons and tons of random funny face pictures of his, so I just stuck one down there. And there's an envelope, and inside here there's also a few more of his little faces and him doing random things. Again, there is a blank paper, and this was so pretty. I didn't even know what I could do on it, nor did I have the heart to cover it, so I just left it as it is, and we can just like look at it. It's just there for the vibes. The next page is also the same. I don't even know why I decided to use this paper, knowing that I'm not going to cover it up in any way. So yeah, these pages are just going to be blank, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with it. It's not anything to be too fussy about. As long as majority of the journal is filled and the blank pages are filled up, I don't mind having random pages like these blank in the middle. Okay, then the next page is a picture, and there's some journaling inside this pink paper, which is folded up, by the way. And it gets stuck into this like see-through ribbon belly band I made, so that the back of it doesn't get covered and we can still see the pattern peeking out from the back. And then onto the next page, I just stuck a to-do list onto this page and just journal directly onto it. And then I made this envelope out of this packaging paper, and then I just added some washi tape and some normal stickers just to decorate it. The next page is a playlist, and I'm not opening that because I don't want anyone to be seeing what's written inside, and it's very ugly. So yeah, that's just that for that spread. And then on the next page there is another box of hair dye stapled directly onto the flap, and then it opens up to reveal a bunch of writing and just some decorations which I used to make the page prettier. Yeah, and I took the girlies with the blue hair because this is blue hair dye. The next spread is my most recent video, and the spread is basically just documenting this little event I went to. So I just stapled the sticker onto the page and turned it into a tuck spot, and there's journaling inside there. There's just a picture stuck on top of that, and then over here this is also a tuck spot, and there's some goodies tucked right inside there. There's a picture on top of it, and then when that flaps open there's a few pictures inside. The other side of that card is also another tuck spot, and my journaling is tucked right inside that. And then this also flaps open to reveal these stickers which I bought from my friend at the event. And yeah, I did some journaling about it, and that's it for that spread. And for the next page, I just took two pages and stapled them together to create this giant pocket, and there's another page and a project life card tucked right inside it. And then the next spread is about the zoo. I do have a video on this, but I don't think I showed the final product because I never have pictures, so you can finally see it now. This flaps open, and I just had these animal printed paper bags, so I stuck that down to decorate the page. This flaps open to reveal a list of animals that were at the zoo. There's some decoration, and then there's this paper which flips open, and then I made these see-through pockets which have pictures inside them, and that slides right into that pocket, so only half of it overhangs the page, and there's journaling directly onto the page as well. The spread after that is just a watch list, I think. Yes, it is just a list of things I have watched in 2023, and Yeah, that's kind of it. Please don't read that. The spread after that is just some more packaging of the washi tapes from the beginning of the year. So I just added those over here, and then inside here there's a little swatch of more pretty washi tapes. These are so cute and I use them all the time. This is also a pocket with the girl peeking through the window, and it opens up to reveal some journaling. And the spread after that is just these two collages which I did on top of regular A5 paper, and I journal on both sides, of course, and then I just stuck them into these pockets. These two pockets were sewed into the journal like that, so I just added some pattern paper on top of it to decorate it a bit. And that is it. This is the collages, and yeah. And then onto the next page. This page is one of those fancy pages I tried to do, and I don't know what I did. And I tried to make it fun and interactive, but I don't think it's a very practical idea. But this flaps open to reveal a whole page on the other side, and then there's journaling at the bottom too, and I just added a little sticker over here. But that's basically it. But like I said, it's not practical. This part here of this page just keeps on getting stuck, and it's really annoying. And then the next spread is about my niece. I never ever have a spread about her, so I decided to do one. And I just wrote directly onto the page, and I have a little picture there, and there's this little sticker which I had from the time I was a kid. It's one of those dress up dolly stickers, so I just stuck it there because that is so cute, and she kind of looks like that. And yeah, I just made the whole spread pinky and girly. And yeah, that is it. That is the end of the journal. Back of it, I just added this beautiful wallpaper just to cover the inside, and I really like how it looks. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I was entertaining throughout the video. I know my journal isn't anything too special, and it isn't all creative and pretty, but to me that's not what matters. What matters the most is that the memories were documented, and I had fun while making the spread. And yeah, sometimes you don't need to put pretty things into your journal or anything meaningful. Sometimes it just needs to be random things like packaging, and it doesn't even need to be pretty packaging. It just needs to be anything that takes you back to a certain point in your life, and you can just think back at it and remember how things used to once be. So I hope you enjoyed my fun little journal flip through, and I hope to see you in my next journal video. My new journal is already completed, so I'll be starting in it soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.